Oh, did you see about your theater? What about my theater? Oh, the things due on Friday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, the karaoke thing? Yeah, I asked Abby. She said she's going. But you have your dance. Oh.
You can go, but you would go right after school, and then when it ends, you go straight over there.
Oh,
Good morning. This is a duly posted special called meeting of the Alamo Heights ISD School Board. It is September 8th, 2021. It is 7:02. Thank you for coming. If anyone in the audience would like to address the board this morning, we welcome your input. Because this is a special called meeting, we can only hear public comment related to a specific posted agenda item. We have the yellow forms are by the door, but since this is special called and Wednesday mornings are pretty limited, let me just give you the topics that are set for today. We have the 2023 bond planning, the property insurance update, property purchase update, so that'll occur in executive. Presentation of House Bill 1525, which is the School Health Advisory Council items, and Dr. Alfaro will be addressing that. The Vader communication, that's a communication about the upcoming tax election. And those are the items that are posted for today. So that's what we'll be addressing. Is there any public comment on any of those items? Okay. With that, then we will begin our goals and priorities meeting of the Board of Trustees.
Dr. Bashir. I'm going to walk you through the agenda real quick. There are a couple items that we're going to pull out to discuss prior to Thursday. Spotlight on Excellence Award. We made the decision yesterday. We had a bunch of nominations in the hopper, and we landed on Zach Alvarez from Technology. I don't know if y'all know him, but we'll be recognizing him. Next Thursday, we have a video powering a profile. We will finally get to recognize Connor Foote for the Dan Cook Athlete of the Year Award. Excited about that, and we'll hear from our Student Council President. Moving into items for possible action. Jimmy has presented to you, Dr. Walker has presented an overview calendar for the way that we'll be reporting out CDAS information to you monthly. And so this very first month is the Student Readiness Pillar 1. I'm sorry, Pillar 1 and Pillar 2, Student Progress and Student Readiness. Jamie Laughlin annually does the technology overview, and so he will come and do that for you as well. And then Dr. Walker is also going to highlight the remote conferencing plan. And I'm going to ask her to talk through that with you real quickly here today, because later on when we get into personnel recommendations, there's some additional staff that I need to man this plan. So I want you to have just a quick overview. She'll get into the nitty-gritty next Thursday night, but talk about the staff especially that we need.
Sure, so I'm excited about this. This has been, it was late breaking news from TEA that this was even something we could offer. A lot of districts are not doing it because we're trying to make it look really simple for parents to enroll their students, but you have to know it's a huge logistical lift to get this up and running. But what it is short-term academic support for kids that need to be out for close contact or COVID positive, or another short-term illness, maybe if they catch chickenpox or such. But it is not Heights at Home. It is different from that, but it will offer 2 hours of academic support for elementary students and 4 hours for secondary students, so that they have some support to get their regular classwork done. What's gonna make this work is, you guys know the secret sauce for Alamo Heights has always been the high caliber of our staff. So we're bringing back some retired teachers. We're bringing back some teachers that chose to stay home with babies or young children, because since they're only working with remote learners, they're going to be working from home. And that, having teachers that we know, that trust, that know us, that are coming back to help us with this, is what's going to make it a success. So and we'll talk it through, the communication, the technology we're using, the process, but it starts Monday. It starts Monday. We've worked through 1,000,001 decisions. We're working through 1,000,001 more, but it's gonna be ready to roll on Monday.
So is it as long as a kid attends the 2 hours before our session, we get attendance?
Mhm. And the student is counted as present.
For the full day?
Correct.
So we're not getting the 20 hours. We have 20 days, 20 days per child as well.
They do, so a child has up to 20 days to earn credit in this.
Mhm.
Yes, this is the 20-day program.
If they are out on quarantine perhaps,
Yeah.
past 20 days, then we can apply for a waiver.
But you have to be attending the school to get the credit.
You do.
Okay.
And the waiver would be if a child was close contact and then a few months later, close contact again, and then caught chickenpox. Like having that kind of year where there were multiple instances that over the course of the year added up to more than 20.
Okay.
And this, during that particular point, this is available, this remote conference, and isn't limited just to COVID. It's, a child is out for any reason.
So a child that just wakes up with a sore throat, this isn't that.
Okay.
This is they're going to be out for at least 4 days, up to 20.
Okay.
If someone needs to be out longer than 20, we might consider homebound services or something, but this is really 4 to 20 days. And that's TEA practice, that's how it works.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, so those will be 3 big presentations to the public, and then I'm gonna move into consent, and I'm gonna ask Frank to talk us through the GKB local, which is the rental policy. We've got a couple
So thank you, Dan.
interested parties in a long-term rental, so that's
Yeah.
what we're bringing to you.
So I hope you had a chance to read the memo, which I essentially summarized the policy points. I also included the policy in the reg, just in case you wanted to read that to remind yourselves. And so we have 2 renters who want to rent for more than 6 months, which as per our policies, you guys have to approve those. One is the Youth Orchestras of San Antonio, and one is the North Rock Church, similar to what they did at the junior school. I also in my memo listed the money that would be brought in by the youth orchestras and the money that was brought in by the church the last time they did it, which would have been in 2019-20 before the pandemic shut down. And so you all have the option of approving it however you want with whatever kind of constraints. Given that we started this regular process in June to come to you to revisit the policy, to revisit our fee structures, to give you a report on all the rentals we've done the year before, that might be a good time to say, look, we're only gonna approve stuff up to that point, and you will reconsider for the next year after that. But you can certainly carve out any kind of exceptions like that that you like. In both cases, these have been good partnerships. They've done everything we have asked, and so we feel like granting them the requested times for the rental would be in our best interest.
Any questions on that? Okay. Mike, Plains Capital Resolution.
Since we changed banks from Frost to Plains Capital, we also have to move our safekeeping, so third party holds all of our securities, and Plains would be that since they're our depository. This just, the resolution just gives Dana the authority to move securities in or create anything we need to as far as that goes.
And refresh me, when we chose them as depository, I know it was competitive looking through all the details, but this custody was part of that decision?
Yes.
Okay, thanks, Mike. And then we'll come out of consent and hear board member committee reports. And so David, you have a meeting on September 15th, foundation meeting, that you'll report out on that evening, and then Stacy, who will have a PAC meeting as well. Mike, investment policy review.
Just by state statute, we have to, the board needs to review the policy every year, and so that's what we'll do. The policy hadn't changed any.
This policy on what?
Investments.
The hedge fund and much the CDs that he's allowed to buy.
Okay, so moving to page 3, Frank Stanage will be with us that night to present the COVID leave resolution. Frank, do you want to highlight anything from there? You don't need to do it.
You can do it.
Okay, walked through this before. It does entitle all employees to 5 days leave, at full-time pay, and also 5 days leave if they're in a caretaking position of someone that needs them to be at home. And so, I think this is good. We will review this in January to see if there are additional days that we would want to offer. Okay?
So that's 5 on top of 5?
2 different buckets, one for caretaking, one for personal sickness, illness, or quarantine. You know, they don't have to be sick to tap into that. So it's gonna be retroactive back to July as well, because we have folks, July, August, and September who have had to be out and they can access that leave.
And I'm assuming that, when Stan's looked at all this and have tried to staff it and figure out permanent subs and that sort of thing, that that's reflected in the budget we approved.
Yes. Yes.
So the leave policy that we did last year ended June, July, right?
Mhm.
This is re-upping for the next year. Okay. Is it, can you just remind me if it's pretty much the same thing we did last year, or different? Did you just say
It
that?
is, we started with